This morning, our officers began looking for a wanted suspect who they were looking for also over the weekend. This all started from an event which took place in a neighboring jurisdiction after a theft from a local store. Officers initiated a traffic stop on those theft suspects approximately 2 days ago. During that traffic stop, they encountered one of the passengers who was seated in the back of the vehicle, armed with a handgun. He pointed the gun at himself. He jumped into the driver's seat after a brief exchange of words with the officers and drove away, which started a pursuit through that city. During that pursuit, because it became unsafe, the conditions became unsafe, and the person was driving so erratically, and he was armed with a handgun, the officers discontinued that pursuit. That agency began investigating and looking into this person's background and later identified him. They enlisted the assistance of the Sacramento County Sheriff's Department in attempting to locate him. Our officers began doing the surveillance yesterday and then continued that surveillance today, and they located him here in the parking lot. The person that we're looking for, that we found here today, has a $1 million warrant for his arrest pertaining to the crimes in the neighboring jurisdiction. He also has an extensive criminal history, as well as being a parolee at large from the California State Prison System. So our officers encountered him today, and with that, I will turn that portion of this investigation over to Sergeant Vance Chandler.
Okay, please keep in mind that the actual shooting portion, the investigation is very active, and it just happened here shortly after around noon. So the investigation is very active, and we will provide information on what we know at this point. What we do know is that 2 deputies attempted to make contact with the suspect, described earlier by Sergeant Hampton, and as they attempted to make contact with the suspect was a passenger inside of a vehicle. The suspect exited the vehicle and posed an immediate threat to both deputies. Both deputies fired their weapons, and we do know that the suspect had a holster and was also armed with a firearm. Based on what we know right now, we have recovered a weapon that was of the suspect, and that weapon was located in close proximity of the vehicle. The deputies who were involved, they immediately provided life-saving measures on the suspect, including CPR, and we do know that now the suspect has succumbed to his injuries. Additional deputies came to the scene to assist, and now our police department has taken over the investigation of the officer-involved shooting. And again, the scene is very active, and that's the information we have at this time. We have very limited information, and as we gather more, we will provide.